Hi, good evening everyone. It's Amanda from AJ's Allotment and today is Shrove Tuesday, so happy Pancake Day. We've all had ours. I have been nominated by Purple Sweet Pea to do the Q&A, the 5 question and answers. So I'm going to do that now. So first question, why an allotment? Well, my garden's not very big, and I've watched lots of YouTube videos, and to me the possibilities are endless of what you can grow with an allotment. I have 5 children, so there's 7 of us in total, 8 if you include my stepdaughter as well, and basically to be able to grow that amount of food that we could possibly live off, I wouldn't be able to do it in the garden. So I wanted an allotment to explore what I can and can't do. And also it's somewhere for me to go to recharge my brain and mental health. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to feeling like that. Question number 2, why YouTube? A couple of reasons really why YouTube. My son, who's 12, said it's alright in life because he can just be a YouTuber, and I wanted to prove to him that it's not as easy as just going online and putting some videos out there. That it's hard work. You have to communicate with the community in order to get your subscriptions, and it's not as easy as people think, and you can't really earn a substantial living off it unless you really put some hours into it. That was one reason, and the other being, like everybody else, is to document your journey, to look back on what was successful, what wasn't, how it evolves, how you evolve, and also to show people a little bit of who we are as a family as well. So it's about sharing us and what we're about, and also having something for myself, joining a community of like-minded people. For years, like 10, 11 years, I've watched certain YouTubers and communicated with them, so I thought it'd be a nice way if other people wanted to communicate with me in that way, and if I could give something to somebody else for them to help them through a tricky time, which I'll talk about in a minute. So question number 3, how long have you been growing for? Mum and Dad always had a bit of a veg patch, and my granddad did, and we always grew flowers and bits and bobs, and I've always done hanging baskets, pots and little bits, but I didn't really start growing vegetables until about 2009, 2010, and I started off slowly with, maybe a little bit before that actually, I started off with some herbs like mint, straw, and did some strawberries, but then there was the big Dig It, I think it was called, or Dig In campaign that went out, and they gave free seeds away. I think, was it Alan Titchmarsh, Alice Fowler, I think Charlie Dimmock might have been part of that. So I applied for those free seeds, and that was it then. I grew my first courgettes, and I was absolutely hooked to think that I could grow, even in my small back garden, I could grow some vegetables. So what question was that I was just answering? How long have you been growing for? So, but that's one of the reasons I started growing. And also, my husband decided to join the armed forces over 10 years ago, and he had to go away for a long period of time, and I was left on my own with, back then, 4 children that were young and obviously had the difficulties, and it was something that took my mind off him being away. It gave me a focus, it gave me something to do and think about, and so it's really actually helped me through the times where he has been away in the forces. So that's another reason why I started growing. What do I grow? Anything and everything. I'm trying new things all the time, but the things I grow every year, courgettes, you can do so much with them, and they grow so well. What else do I grow? Charlotte potatoes, I grow them every year. I really, really enjoy those. Salads. What else did I put down for that one? French beans, love my dwarf French beans, especially the purple ones. I started doing those to get the kids involved, because whenever they grow purple, you put them in the boiling water and they turn bright green, and even as an adult it fascinates me that that happens. But to get the kids involved, I always grow those because it's something exciting. And sunflowers, so anything I can pick and put in a vase and bring home, in that sense. And I've recently started getting into my Halloween pumpkins, because previous years the dogs always ate them. When I tried to grow them at home in the garden, the dogs ate them every year, the plants, before they even got any flowers on them. So last year was my second year, sorry, of growing Halloween pumpkins. So I was really chuffed with those. What is my favourite? So I think I just covered that. My favourite thing has got to be courgettes and pumpkins, because from that tiny seed, this massive Jurassic plant grows, and you're left with these enormous, heavy, nourishing balls of goodness. Yes, they fascinate me. That's one of my favourite things. And I think that and the green beans, because they're really, really, really nice and yummy. So they're my favourite things to grow. So that's all about me and answering those questions. So I think I've covered all of the questions. I didn't say when I got my allotment. I forgot to add that in. So I got this allotment, my large plot I got in 2016. I think it was about springtime. And then I got my half plot last year, at the end of spring. So it was already covered in weeds and stuff. So I've got a full plot and a half plot. But this will be my first year with both plots starting from beginning to the end of the year. So hopefully, yeah, I can do something with it. Before that, when I first started growing vegetables, so a few years after that, so it probably would have been, it's before I had William, because I got pregnant, so I'm thinking, so 6 years ago, I got an allotment, and I did start it, but I got pregnant with William, and I suffered really bad with pelvic girdle displacement, where your pelvis becomes unstable, and I was on crutches from 17 weeks pregnant, so I couldn't really work it. And then we moved with the forces because my husband got a posting, so we moved out of county. So I had to give that plot up, and then we actually moved back a year later. So we got sorted out then. Sorry about that, my phone was ringing, that's why I pulled a confused face. Yeah, so I had to give that plot up, so then I didn't have a plot for a couple of years. So I didn't really get going with that, but this will be my first year with the 2 plots. So I've only had my allotment for a couple of years, really. Right, now to the nominations, let's get to it. So thank you very much to Claire for nominating me from Purple Sweet Pea. And the people I've nominated are people who I watch and who always comment, and I comment back, and people I look to either get advice from or chat to, sort of in general. So let's start. We've got Steve's Seaside Allotment. He's brilliant. He only got his allotment, I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago, and it is amazing. He's really ploughed some time into it. It's just one that I love to watch, and again, Steve always comments back and interacts. So that is a really, really brilliant one to look at. And it's all raised bed, and it is also his wife and his daughter have plots too, and he gives regular tours of those, so it is a really, really nice one. My second nomination is the Yorkshire Gardener. Let's double check. Yeah, the Yorkshire Gardener. He's just starting out on his YouTube, and it'd be nice to see him get some more subscribers and what have you. He's got quite a nice little plot there, so because he's starting out, let's try and get him a few more subs. Then my third nomination is Cookie's Allotment Devon. When I first started out on YouTube, it was one that I always went to, and again, he's great. He always comments back, and he did send me some seeds actually last year, but it didn't grow. It was for a walking stick kale, so I was really disappointed that it failed. It didn't grow. But yeah, again, really nice allotment. Great guy, good one to watch. Rich T is number 4. Again, only started his YouTube journey last year, and what he has done with his plot, which is on a slope in Yorkshire, it is built raised beds. He's got it looking amazing within the year. It's fantastic, very knowledgeable, does some great things with compost and mulch, and he's a really lovely guy. So, you know, he's done really well within this year. And my final nomination is for somebody who always supports me, always watches my videos, and is always very nice things to say. He doesn't have an allotment, but he does grow loads organically in his garden in Ireland. So his name is Scott Huey. He hasn't put a video on for a while now, so I'm hoping, are you listening, Scott? I'm hoping that you'll update us on what's going on in your garden, because I've not seen anything from you recently. But yeah, lovely guy, always interacts. So Scott, I want to see more. So that is my nomination. So that's your 5 questions, which will be put on the description below, and I'll be putting links to everybody on there as well. I hope I've answered all your questions. If you liked it and like to see more, please pop over to my other videos and have a look if you've not seen anything before. And that's everyone who I've nominated to nominate 5 other people. And thank you very much. I really appreciate this opportunity. So for now, good night, enjoy your pancakes, and I will see you all again pretty soon. Remember to like, subscribe and comment and ring the bell. Thanks a lot. See you guys.